there we go. All right, so we're talking about area of triangles. This is number 3, and we have just established this is a parallelogram. I'll agree. What is the formula for a parallelogram? Yes, Javon.
Area equals base. No.
Mhm.
Area equals base and height.
Area equals base times height. All right, I want to show you something real quick. All right, I'm going to cut this parallelogram in half. You can either go from this diagonal to this diagonal. That would cut it in half, right? Or I can cut it from this diagonal to this diagonal. So we want to do the long cut or the short cut. Y'all can decide. Doesn't matter. Short. Okay, I like that. It fits on my scissors. Okay, y'all ready? So diagonal to diagonal. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Okay, diagonal to diagonal. What shape did I just make?
A triangle.
I just made a triangle by cutting my parallelogram in half. All right? So, guys, our formula for a parallelogram is A equals BH, just like a parallelogram. But because we cut it in half, I'm now going to do divided by 2. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
All right? So, again, y'all can see here is my parallelogram. Maybe it wasn't that one. Parallelograms are harder to make once you cut them, I've decided. My parallelogram was formed I can't put them together. Like, good things we're not doing tanagrams in here, guys, because I apparently can't. All right, so again, just to kind of show that one more time. All right, there's parallelogram. If I cut it in half, I'm going to do this one long ways just to make sure it still works. Long ways. Did I still make a triangle except for the fact that my parallelogram was funky, so my triangle's funky? Here, this triangle was better. There. Okay, so when you cut it in half, it makes a triangle. All right, my base and my height, and I'm using that little and symbol. You don't have to if you don't want to. My base and my height. What is the rule for the base and the height? They must always make. Does anyone remember what is it that my base and my height always have to make? Hunter? A right angle. Awesome job. A right angle. And just a reminder, I'm going to put over here that a right angle, remember that's when they meet at that perfect 90 degrees. They make a T together. Might be a sideways T or an upside down T, but as long as they make a T. Right? So guys, we're gonna do a couple of problems. I think we're gonna do 3 of these, and then we're gonna spend a lot of time with the algebra today. Okay? So we're gonna find the area. Oh, sorry, really, some of y'all are still writing. All right, we're gonna find the area of each triangle. We're gonna start with number 1. All right, and remember the first thing that we have to do is write our formula. So we're going to write A equals BH divided by 2. A equals BH divided by 2. Got to write that formula. All right, so now, and this is where some of us had a little bit of trouble last night, counting and making sure we're doing this graph right. I'm going to find my base. Can I use either of these slanted lines as a base? No, it has to go straight across, so I have to use this bottom line. All right, so we look at that base. All right, so what I want you to do, guys, is I want you to put your pencil at your starting point. You can start at either end. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on the left. You can start where you want, put your pencil at your starting point, and I want you to count in your head. I'm going to count in my head, and then we're going to see if we get the same number, okay? So put your pencil and let's see if we can count and get the same number. So I get A equals, what number did you get for your base, Sean?
6.
Close. I got a different one. Put your pencil at the beginning and try counting over. Remember, count the line. Javon?
7.
I got 7. All right, so let's try again. Did you see what you did, Sean? You don't count the boxes. Count. Remember, we start here and count the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? Now, Miss Skelton, you can give me advice on what you think about this, but I've changed it up in my other class. I think it helps because sometimes the height can be difficult. So I want you to do is, y'all see where my base is? I picked that up as my base, right? We're going to go over to the side, and I just want you to put a little mark. And say, okay, there's where my base is, right? Now, do y'all agree if I go from the bottom to the very tip top of that triangle, that's going to give me the height? So here's where my base is. I went over here and marked it. Now let's go to the very tip top of that triangle, and then we're going to go over to the side, and we're going to mark that as well. So now I have a line going from the top, or from the bottom to the top. And do y'all see that line that I'm creating? That line right there goes from the bottom to the top of the triangle. Do y'all agree with me? If I go from the bottom to the top, isn't that the height? Yeah. All right, so let's put our pin. You can put it at the bottom or the top, and let's count. Let's see if we get the same number. So I'm going to start mine at the bottom. If you want to start yours at the top, you can. So let's put it at the bottom, and we're going to count up in our head. When you get your number, let me know. Raise your hand. Don't call it out. What'd you get for your number, Chris? 5? Close. Let's double check again. Make sure to put your pencil there. All right, and now count up. How many do we go up? 1. Watch mine. Okay, you ready? Count with me. So there's my pencil, right? Now I'm going to count up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 there, okay? We should have 4 on that height, and then we're going to divide by 2. Don't forget to put that divided by 2. Make sure you write that out. You'll see what I've written out here. Make sure you write that on your paper. Okay? All right. So, guys, I'm going to show you something cool that your calculator does. And the way we're going to type this in, you're going to think is a little silly, but I promise you, I like it, so we're going to do it. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and write my area equals, so I'm ready for my answer. All right, in your calculator, all I want you to type in is the first line. On top, y'all see where it says 7 times 4? So we're going to type in 7 times 4, and I want you to push equals. 7 times 4 and push equals. That's what we should get. Make sure your calculator gives you that, okay? Double check, because you're going to need that in your calculator for step 2. Did everyone get 28? Okay. Now, what else do I still need to do? Truett? Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. Don't touch anything, okay? Watch this. I'm going to hit the divide button. Divide. What just popped up there? What does that mean? Sean? Your answer. What answer did we just get? 28. Now, does this mean an answer from 5 problems ago? No, this means what we just had, that means that's going to hold 28 for you. And what are we doing to 28? We're dividing by 2. So we're going to hit divided by 2 and hit enter again. And now that's going to give me my answer. So do we have to keep typing numbers in? No. The calculator keeps track of it. Isn't that cool? All right. So now if I hit divided by something again, now what is answer talking about? What was the last number I just had? 14. Do we want to do anything else to 14 though? No. So again, just to show you one more time, it's 7 times 4 equals, that gives me 28. Then we hit divided by, so now that answer is 28 too, and I get 14. And we're going to write units, because it's a graph, squared. All right, and we did some of the graphs yesterday, so I'm kind of going a little quickly, okay? All right, but I wanted to show you that calculator keeps track of what you're doing. All right, we're going to do number 2. I'm going to do number 2 over here in this area, so I'm going to write my formula. A equals BH divided by 2. And guys, y'all wrote a lot, most of y'all wrote y'all's formula. I think everyone that did their homework wrote their formula on every problem. Do y'all think that helped you memorize that formula? Yep. Yeah, like now the ones that you did it, you're like, A equals BH, A equals BH, A equals BH. And tomorrow you're going to walk in and be like, A equals BH divided by 2. You're just going to know it because you're writing it down so much, all right? So we get A equals. Let's talk about that base. Now, normally my base is on the bottom, but what's wrong with this bottom line? What's wrong with that, Javon? It's slanted. Can we do a slanted line? No, that's like bad news, guys. So I'm going to pick my base. It has to be this one on the left. Do you see how that line is not slanted? It's going straight up and down, but it is not slanted. So we can use that as our base, all right? And then we're going to put our pencil at the bottom, or you can do it at the top. I like going from the bottom, so I'm going to put my pencil at the bottom. All right, put the pencil tip at the bottom, and we're going to count going up. You do it in your head, I'll do it in my head. We'll check at the end, okay? So count going up. What did you get, Camille? 5. That's what you got. All right, so I get 5 as my base. All right, we got to talk about the height. Because normally when I measure height, I go up and down. But I went up and down for my base. So what does that mean for my height? What do you think, T-Bit? We can't go diagonal for anything. We don't want to do that. Hunter? We have to have a height. Think about it. Remember, your height, think about it, goes from the bottom of the triangle, from the base, maybe not the bottom, but from the base to the very tip top. So what's that going to be here, Owen?
Draw a line from the bottom to the top, going straight, and then come up.
So if I go for, like, right here, bottom to top, because that was my base, right? Going sideways. There you go. And I knew you knew what you were saying. We just got to get that right word. We're going to go sideways. Do y'all agree this was the bottom of the triangle? It's basically like the triangle's been dumped on its side. And then there's the tip top of my triangle, yes? So I'm just going to follow that line down and mark it at the bottom. So now I have this line going from the bottom to the top. Any questions on where I'm getting that line from? I think that's easier than having to count inside the triangle. All right. So that goes from the base to the very tip top. So now we're ready to count it. Let's start. Pick your starting point and count over, and let's see if we get the same answer. What'd you get, Sean? 7. That's what I got. And then we're going to divide by 2. So A equals, let's type that into the calculator. A equals, we're going to do 5 times 7 equals, and you get 35. And then you're going to hit divide by 2. And what do I get as my answer here? Carlos. 17.5. Do you remember what word we write next to that? Units with the 2. Units squared. And make sure that 2 is up in the corner. Remember, not just next to it, but up in the corner. All right. I want us just to talk about this. We're not going to work it out. And you see I added a third number because sometimes on your homework the book likes to add a third number, doesn't it? It tries to trick you. All right. On number 3, raise your hand if you can tell me which of these 3 numbers is going to be your base and your height. Which would be your base and your height? Hunter.
The 12 would be your base, and the 10 would be your height.
Why do I have to use the 12 and the 10? Why can't I use the 14?
Because you don't use the 14 because it's at a diagonal.
It's slanted. This one is slanted. Where's my right angle? Right there. So that means we have to use 12 and 10. And we're not going to work that one out. We're going to go ahead and move down to number 5. I just wanted us to look at that one, okay? Number 5, what shape is it? A triangle. So let's write our formula. A equals BH divided by 2. So I get A equals because we're finding the area. What's the base of number 5? Camilla?
19.
All right, and can you go ahead and tell me the height as well? 9 1/2. All right, and then we're going to divide by 2. Now, I don't know about y'all, but those fractions are awfully scary looking, aren't they? But as long as we have our handy-dandy calculator, no biggie. All right, so let's practice those fraction buttons. That fraction button again, I'm going to move that over. All right, so we're going to type in 19. What's my fraction button look like again? Someone remind me, Sean? The ABC button, there it is right there, that A with the B/C. And we know that backward L, it just means the calculator is thinking fractions coming up, all right? So we got 19, fraction button, 1. Hit that ABC fraction button, and 4. Times, can someone tell me how to put in the 9 1/2? Carlos, tell me how to put 9 1/2 in.
9.
ABC button. Just like 1, 2. 1 ABC button, 2. All right, so let's push enter. Let's make sure everyone has that. When you multiply the fractions, it's kind of crazy, right? Do we need to write that down yet? What do I still need to do? Owen?
Divide.
I still have to hit divide by 2. And then we're going to hit enter, which is 91 and 7/16 what? Not units. Yards. Squared. There we go. All right, excellent job. All right, questions about those? All right, we're going to move down and we're going to look at number 7. My goal is we're going to try to do 7 and 9 before we leave, okay? We're not going to do number 8. Okay, you can just mark that one out. We don't have space. Yes, McKenna? Okay, let me see. Let me see what you got. That just needs something typed in. Okay, so we're going to push clear. So do you see right there? You did 1 fraction button 9, fraction button 1, fraction button 4. So remember it was 19 and 1/4, right? So we need 19, then the fraction button. There we go. Okay. You just hit that fraction button one too many times. We got it. All right. Everyone else good? And then, guys, I want to point out what Kenna did real quick. She said she got an error. We were able to look at her calculator and see the only thing that was typed in wrong. Hit the fraction button one too many times, easy fix, okay? So if you get something that says error, did the calculator do something wrong? No, you did. Ask real quick so we can look in and see what was typed wrong, okay? All right, number 7. Area equals base times height divided by 2. And y'all, I got real sloppy on your notes. It says find the missing dimension. Should have said of the triangle. But what shape have we been talking about? Triangles. So these are going to be triangles, okay? All right. This is what we learned yesterday. This is that algebra, but it was kind of hard. And it's going to be a little bit harder today, but y'all can do it. All right, you ready? Everyone's focused? All right, so it says A. What does A stand for? Area. And Truett, what do you notice on number 7? Do you notice anything about the area on number 7? What?
It has the 2 in the right corner.
Yeah, it has that number right there has a 2 in the right corner. Guys, what is the area? 285. Am I looking for it? No. So I'm going to have to work this problem differently. So underneath A, because A stands for area, I'm going to write 285. Because what does A stand for? Area. And what is 285? Area. Equals. B, what does B stand for? Base. Do y'all see anything about base there? I don't. Do y'all see anything? Y'all got better eyes than me. Does it tell me what the base is? Maribel? I just have to put B. Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, and then it says H. Y'all see anything about H?
Yes.
What do you see, Hunter?
15.
It says height is 15. So where H is, I'm just going to put a 15. And I like putting my numbers in parentheses so they kind of stay together. 15, there it is. And then what does it say goes on the bottom of B and H? That 2. All right, so guys, what I want us to do, we're going to draw a line just like we've done in the past. And we got to do the opposite. But how many numbers are over there with B? Hunter? There are 2 numbers, right? We got 15 and we got 2. All right, so here's my question for you. Which number is further away? The 15 or the 2? The 2, right? 2 is like way down here on the bottom. That's like if you and your brother are hanging out upstairs and your mom's way down in the basement. B and 15, they're hanging out upstairs, maybe in different rooms, we don't know. But 2 is down in the basement. 2 is clearly further away, okay? So we're going to start there. We're going to get rid of it first. How would I get rid of a 2 that's on the bottom if that means divide by 2? What's the opposite? What are we going to do? Hunter, you're on a roll today. What you got? Think about it. If it's on the bottom, what's going on there? Kelsey? We're going to multiply because if it's on the bottom, remember that line means divide by 2. Opposite of dividing, we're going to put times 2. And do y'all see where I wrote it on the top? And then if I do it on one side, I'm going to put times 2 on the other side. I kind of squeezed it in there. And I got my calculator so I'm not scared where it says 2 times 285. We're going to work that out and push enter. And we get 570. What happens to my 2 on bottom and my 2 on top? Don't move. Let's finish this problem, okay? This is really important. What happens to my 2 on bottom and 2 on top? They disappear. Not he had it. They disappear. All right, so now all that's left over there, we still have our B and we still have our 15. Hunter, don't move. Don't go reaching for that backpack yet. I see it. All right. So, guys, what do I need to do now? It says b times 15. What's the opposite now? Divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 15. So now I'm going to use my calculator again. 570 divided by 15 equals, I get 38. 38. Look at your height. What measurement do I need to write next to that? Feet. And that's going to equal, 15's go away, so we get our B. 38 feet equals B. Guys, your homework's listed down at the bottom. We also wrote it in our table of contents. Thank you. If you need help, where can you find these worked out more? If you need help with these. On Remind, on YouTube, on my video, okay? I'm going to work them out some more for you. Y'all have a good day.